The midnight protesters. I don't condemn those protesters. I commend those protesters. To imperialism around the world, how can we condemn resistance to that imperialism? What we have to deal with, what's the actual crux of the issue? The crux of the issue is when you go around the world and you talk to people, they say, what's the British problem? What's the problem with the British? What is their problem? Do we look at Mossadegh in Iran in the 50s? Why was this man overthrown? And who overthrew him? Abdul Karim Qasim in Iraq. Why was he overthrown? These people were overthrown because they wanted to nationalize their natural resources. This country and any government in the world has never had the interest of women's rights in other parts of the world as the reasons for why they wage war. This is ridiculous. But yet it is peddled by every single news station that you see in this country today, from the BBC to ITV to even Channel 4, I see it. Sky News. We are there to civilize these people. We are there to give their women's rights. Well, let me tell you this. If women in Afghanistan get equal rights, it won't be because of the British and their bombs. It won't be because of the British and their military. It won't be because of the United States and their military bases. It will be because of the Afghan people. Regardless, this perception is something, there's a phrase for it, white man's murder. Who gave anybody the right to go across the world and not only invade and occupy those countries, but make their borders? When we're talking about Afghanistan and the reason why it has spread to now what we call Pakistan, is because the people that they are holding on both sides of those borders do not recognize the Durand line, which was drawn by the British. These are the Pashtuns. They believe they live in a place called Pashtunistan. They don't believe in Afghanistan. They didn't believe in India when Pakistan was India, and now it's Pakistan. They don't believe in it. The Pakistani government don't have authority there. So this is why the Pakistani government is allowing Obama to go and drop unmanned planes. We're talking about remote control planes dropping bombs on human beings. Which is a bigger threat to human life in the world today? Machines, which a person can sit in a military base somewhere in Michigan and control, going and dropping bombs across the other side of the world, or homemade IEDs. Which is a bigger threat to your life? Which is a bigger threat to our lives? Which is a bigger threat to humanity as a collective? We have to understand these perceptions which are being rammed down our throats and reject them, because that narrative is not ours. As human beings who care about other human beings, this narrative is not ours. And this idea that the only people who want to resist the occupation of their country have to be the Taliban. Who made those rules? The only people that don't like their country being occupied belong to this group. This is a ridiculous idea. If an army from Afghanistan invaded this country, do you think there would only be one group that opposed the occupation of this country? If an Iraqi army invaded this country and occupied this country, do you think there would only be one group which opposed the occupation of this country? What gives Britain that right? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And, you know, this whole thing with these poppies recently, they want you to be more bothered by people burning poppies than people burning countries. What's that about? And they want you to believe that. They want to tell you what to condemn, tell you what to commend. We must always think of humanity as a whole. And, you know, the bottom line is, what does this country gain from this situation? Because the military occupation is only, you know, it's like a security fence for the economic occupation. So there are people who are making a killing. Our government is spending a huge amount of money on war and cutting money from pretty much everywhere else. But the BAE Systems of this world, the Lowkey Martin of this world, these companies who make